Now, we all know Keemstar is a bit of a shady person to work with. He is working entirely in his own interests, as most business people are. But throughout his long history of podcasts, and I mean a very long history of podcast after podcast after podcast revival after brand new podcast after another podcast revival, it's been a wild ride. I mean, think about it. How many podcasts has Keemstar had? He's had Bad Kids Cast, Triggered, Baited 1, Baited 2, Baited 3, Mom's Basement 2, which is what he's currently on right now. He's had an interesting history of podcasts, and it's pretty easy to see once you take a look at his history why he's had to have so many shows. The current one he's at is Mom's Basement, a Spotify-only podcast with him and Banks and Colossal is Crazy, which is really a winning formula. Really, without Banks, I mean, all you need is Keem and Clown, and you got a decent show. But already, things are already beginning to go to shit. Because, their brand new episode, which I can't find on Spotify anymore. Perhaps I need to log into my account. I'm using an incognito window right now, so maybe it doesn't show up for me. But episode 2 that they put out, which was with Mike from Logan Paul's podcast, it's gone now. And there's a little bit of a reason as to why it might be gone now, because already things are not going well. Keemstar tweeted, "Here we go." And then he tweeted another tweet. So Colossal's Crazy and Mike, I'm not even going to pronounce his last name, or not even going to attempt to pronounce it. Colossal and Mike got into a big fight on today's Mom Basement, and a bigger fight after, because 31 minutes was cut from the recording. That's a fair amount of content to be cutting out of a recording. I'm curious what was cut. To be fair, it's a mess. I don't think it's anyone's single fault exactly. It's a combination of things. Colossal says, 50 to 60% of everything I said was completely deleted. Remove half of my sentence and it becomes a totally different sentence. Remove my entire response and it makes it look like I didn't even respond. That is the main reason why I was pissed, and I think anyone would be in my place. Harry is replying to a fan that says, honestly, it just seems like Colossal's Crazy just has it out for Mike. Kind of disappointed in the episode because Colossal just seemed to try and combat anything Mike said without letting the conversation ever get anywhere. Colossal responded and says, and anyone can draw that conclusion due to the fact that over half of what I'm saying is completely missing. This is why I'm pissed. If you take away half my sentence and the sentence is completely different, blah, 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 we've already gone over that, anyone would be angry about this, which is true. I mean, removing 31 minutes of content on a podcast that usually doesn't even reach the 1 hour mark is an insane amount of cutting. Now, when Keemstar tweeted out the podcast link yesterday, Colossal and Mike ended up getting into a one-on-one conversation where he said, please fucking tell me why Mike got a say in which parts were cut. I've been censored massively to the point where I've been taken completely out of context and it's nonsensical. Why? Is it because he didn't like some of the things I said? This is some pussy shit. And it's just beautiful that already, episode 2 into Keemstar's brand new podcast, things like this are already going down, showing that Keem really isn't the best person to work with. I mean, I think it goes out saying, whether you like Keemstar or not, he is entirely motivated by his own interests to the point where it doesn't matter if you have a say or not, he'll cut you out. And I'll show you guys history of this in the past, going back to 2016 and 2017. But before we do that, let's keep going with this conversation. Mike says, wait, what? I asked for one tiny cut from one segment. Colossal says, 31 minutes were cut. You were worried about things said and asked them to be cut. It led to other things being cut. To protect Logan and yourself from looking bad, you ruined an entire entertaining conversation. Next time, hit me up and ask me to cut what I said. I might have done it as a courtesy. Mike says, the cut I asked for was 2 minutes long, brother. This seems like it should be an internal convo between yourselves, not me or the internet. Colossal says, I don't know how much you asked cut. Just that you wanted things fucking cut. More directly, things I said cut. But as I've said, you wanting things cut led to other things being cut. Not all the blame is yours, but for sure some of it, and you should just own that. Mike says, honestly, man, I was a guest on your show. I showed up at a time I should have been hiding out, only as a courtesy to Banks and only to be berated for an hour by you. I don't know what you fucking want from me, man. Colossal says, berated? I threw you a few tough questions and comments, and for the most part, I was perfectly pleasant. That's not you being berated at all. You just aren't able to take criticism, it seems. Which, based on this conversation from Mike, as somebody who's not internally, I'm not inside, the podcast. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but as a spectator looking at this conversation, it certainly seems that Mike wanted things being cut because, as we all know, Colossal can be a bit of an aggressive personality, and Keemstar to basically cut to the guest or potentially even Spotify's TOS or whatever, probably cut more than just Mike asked for. Either way, it seems like all the hosts should have been aware of content being cut As it's interesting how the episode is released publicly and Colossal had no idea things were being cut until he found out when the rest of the audience was beginning to watch the show. It just seems like there's a lack of organization and communication going on in this project, to say the least. Now Mike made one last tweet, said, to be clear, the OG Mom's Basement cut was over an hour. I asked for a 3-minute chunk to be cut because we all got nasty and I didn't like that. I have no issues with Keem or Clown, and as usual, Banks is one of the realest motherfuckers in the game. Wish y'all nothing but the best. And then Keem at the bottom says true. Now again, like I said, it just seems like, they got a little nasty. Mike wanted some stuff cut because he doesn't really want, negativity going out or something like that. And then Keemstar probably got a little too loose with the cutting, or told the editor that they have to get a little too loose with the cutting and take more of Colossal's negative energy out of the podcast to cuck to the guest, to be perfectly honest with you. This is just my speculation. I'm not reporting this as fact. This is just what I assume is happening based on what I've seen happen in the past. And you might be wondering, well, what's gone on in the past? What makes you say that? Way back in 2017, when the first Baited Podcast crew was cut and Keem brought on the second crew, which was Andy Milanakis and Anything for Views. On the first episode, Anything for Views ended up talking shit about one of the old co-hosts, Tommy C, saying that Tommy C should die in the army. Keemstar left this clip in the podcast, even though Anything for Views wanted it to be removed from the podcast because it was too toxic. Yet Keem left it in there anyway to get back at Tommy C. But as Tommy C showed in an old clip, there were things that were said on the podcast against Keemstar that Keemstar ended up asking to be removed to save his own ass. Here's the clip that Anything for Views reportedly wanted to be cut out.
Yeah, dude, where's Clown? I'm already fucking disliking this video, dude.
Dislike.
I actually, I miss Colossal. I think Colossal had good input for this fucking podcast. However, Tommy, I'm fucking glad he's gone. Good riddance. I wish he just died in the army. That cunt had no input to this podcast besides him agreeing. This was his vocabulary. I agree. Yes, my name's Tommy.
Now here's how Tommy responded at the time. And by the way, remember, this dates back to January 6, 2017. We're going back 3 years. And this is all alleged according to Tommy on his old podcast.
But I heard that you told the boss, and don't fucking think he's anything other than the boss, that you wanted that part removed, and it didn't get removed. And look who's if that's true there, Chad, you're getting fucked in the ass. But if that's true, and you asked, and you got fucked, get used to it, motherfucker. Get fucking used to it. You got fucked over like this. You're gonna see a lot fucking more in the future. Promise you. I promise you.
He burns through teams, Chad. It's what he does. Look at his history.
And if you thought that was all, here's another clip that shows Keem's control on these podcasts.
Look, whenever fucking Clown would own his face and make him look ridiculous, which was like 7 or 8 times, as we well know, Keemstar pulled the audio. That's what he did every time. So the entire show was designed just a vehicle to get back at Great and Leafy.
So what does this tell you? Well, here's Tommy C, a former member of a podcast that Keemstar was a part of, talking 3 years ago about audio being left in when guests asked for it to be removed, but him not releasing episodes that make him look bad when guests ask for those episodes to go out publicly, or rather co-hosts. The point of me showing you all this is to show that Keem has a history of controlling whatever podcast he's on, and anybody who's a part of the podcast, as in a co-host or a guest, they have no idea what Keemstar wants, what Keemstar's up to. Now, in this specific situation with the Colossal and Mike, I think what really happened was just that Mike wanted a couple minutes removed, and then Keemstar went a little too apeshit with how much audio was really being cut, and it just led to a podcast that made Colossal look like a jackass. But I can only speculate based on what I've seen him do in the past, years ago. I'm really going back years ago, and I don't like pulling up old podcasts to get back at people today, but I'm just showing you guys these podcasts to show you that he has a history of getting a little messy with the audio on these shows. So what do you guys think? Let me know down below, and be sure to hit like on the video, subscribe, turn on notifications. I think I'm shadow banned on YouTube. I don't know. I can't figure it out, but I am on Twitch right now, live, so you can go check me out if you're watching this video the moment it came out, twitch.tv/AllYourRC. And if I'm not live, well, follow me there anyway, because I do go live there every day. So with that being said, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out, everyone.
I feel bad for calling you a rat all those many times.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. You're right. I don't feel bad.
And I don't think it's funny.